Good morning, guys. Happy Saturday on this channel. I just wanted to let everybody know here there is an important video that I put over on pinball prepping, but because of the topic, it's over on the other channel that doesn't have two strikes. So just in the interest of being a little safe, I wanted to put that one over there, but that one's kind of important to go watch. So go check that one out. But not that this one isn't important, because this one just is a different subject. The other day, I talked on video about Texas joining the list of 20 other states that are constitutional carry. It might be a little more important than you know, okay? We all know what happened in Afghanistan. We all know that they're flying Afghanis out and resettling them in the United States all over the place, okay? El Paso, Texas, central Wisconsin. Got stories yesterday about them going into Detroit. There's probably a couple other that I can't think of off the top of my head. But we know that the Biden administration has fast-tracked the P2 visa, which is the one that's allowing Afghanis to come in without any paperwork, without any ID, without any passports, anything like that. Just, hi, welcome to the United States. Enjoy your life. Go get a job. But one that's a little more scary, because remember, Afghanistan is, and the numbers are all over the place with the Afghanis. I mean, we've heard anywhere from 100 to 300,000 now is how many people that we're going to resettle into the United States. The bigger concern still that kind of Afghanistan almost winds up like a false flag for what's going on the southern border, if you will. Okay, yes, people are dying, and yes, it's diverting attention from another crisis. So yes, it would meet the definition if you wanted to, but it's not a false flag. It just could fit the definition. The southern border crisis, excuse me, it's early, is scary. And, we're talking of nearly 2 million illegals coming across the border. And not just Hispanics, I mean, coming from all over the world. I mean, people, you want to leave Iran, fly from Iran, somehow get into Mexico, come across the border, and poof, you're fine. Our illustrious Secretary of Homeland Security, Alejandro Mayorkas, has come up with the most boneheaded liberal idea possible. Now, you got to understand who Mayorkas is, okay? He was born in Cuba, and this guy is a uber open borders person, okay? I mean, Department of Homeland Security, and does not believe that we need to have borders. Figure that one out, okay? But then again, if anybody can tell me anything that makes sense in the Biden administration, please email me, because I'd love to hear one thing that has any sort of common sense, logic, anything to it. I mean, I'm sorry, destroying economies and closing down businesses and, making everything cost more. I mean, it's like, okay, if you want to destroy a country, get Joe Biden. He's experienced. But so back to Mayorkas. Mayorkas, like I said, is a uber no borders person. And so he has decided to set up, however you want to, asylum courts, for anything, for lack of a better term, on the southern border. And their excuse is, well, this way we can process people for asylum a lot faster, and we won't back up the court system, and these people won't have to wait for their hearings and stuff. So what he's got is a team of about 800 people who are, again, all uber liberal open borders supporters, who are now going to take these people that come through and, for all intents and purposes, literally rubber stamp them and say, you are now legal in the United States, okay? The funny thing is, for years and years and years and years and years and years and years, okay, we've always taken taken in political asylees. No problem. Okay. You're escaping a terrorist organization. You go through a long process to prove that you are seeking political asylum. We're there. People coming over from the Soviet Union, things like that. And the United States has always been supportive of that for decades. Somebody came up with the idiotic term of economic asylum. Now, if you think of economic asylum, the definition more or less is, can you make more money in the United States than you can in your country of origin? Well, you can pretty much take all of Central America, all of South America, all of Africa, a vast majority of Asia, and probably half of Europe, and say, you're all eligible to be an economic asylee in the United States. I mean, again, guys, remember, the poorest people in the United States have more than the majority of the country, the majority of the people in all the other countries in the world. We can't take in everybody. But they're going to come up with a group here that is going to rubber stamp people into the United States saying, yep, you're eligible. No vetting, no nothing. Person comes up and says, I'm an economic asylee. I'm a basket weaver in Peru, and I want to come to the United States to practice my trade up here. Oh, okay, that sounds like an economic asylum. Stamp, and you're in. Okay. Now, of course, there is the pushback that the government's saying, it's like, oh, we're not going to do, these are just going to be on the simple cases, the ones that are very obvious that the people are going to, excuse me, very obvious that the people would get asylum. Okay. You made up economic asylum. So there's nobody that's very obvious. If you say they're poor, therefore it's very obvious, again, that's 95% of the world would be eligible for this. So this is what's going on, and this is why I say your constitutional carry is going to come in. Because if they just start opening the doors like crazy, you think this news isn't going to get out to the rest of the world real quick, and the border crossings aren't going to go up? Economic asylum, and we're going to rubber stamp you in? That's easy. Honey, we're moving. We're going to the United States. They're saying, come on in. What is this going to do? This is going to put downward pressure on wages. This is going to put more pressure on people to, it's going to be harder to get a job, okay? Because the guy who's making $3 a day somewhere, or $3 a week somewhere, and comes to the United States and they go, oh, you know what? You will go and work on this assembly line warehouse and we'll pay you minimum wage. The guy's going, $7 an hour? Holy crap, I'm rich. And the guy who's been working on the line for 10 years, who's making 20 some odd bucks an hour, and they go, Joe, we need you to train your replacement. We can get 3 of them for what we pay you. That's what's going to happen. Americans are being put last again by the Biden administration. You think you have a rental problem now with people trying to find housing? Okay, we talked about yesterday. Boise, Idaho, rent's going up 40%. I mean, there's all over places that, rent is up 25%, things like that. Well, these people coming in, they got to live somewhere. And so what's going to happen? There's going to be more pressure on the rental community. They're not going out and buying houses. But what you'll have, like you've had many times, seen many times, is 3 generations in a family living in a 2-bedroom apartment. Okay, the 2-bedroom apartment costs you $2,000 a month, but if we have 5 people working, that means each one of them has to come up with $400. That's what's going on, guys. This administration is completely trying to destroy the fabric of the United States. Obviously, I think I can prove it. I am not anti-immigration, okay? Hence Mrs. P. But there's got to be some sort of standard and somebody responsible. Like I said, Mrs. P came over. I had to sign documentation that I am responsible for her. I don't remember if it was 5 years or 10 years or whatever it is. She's not eligible for anything. If we divorced, she doesn't get welfare, Section 8, food stamps, nothing like that, okay? It's all on me. Who's sponsoring all these people? Everybody complained about all the H-1B visas and all the workers that came over here and took jobs. At least they were sponsored by somebody, by a company that had to take responsibility for them. And if they didn't work for the company anymore, they went back to wherever they came from. Who's responsible for all those people? Unwittingly, you, me, and every other American citizen has said, because of Mayorkas's order here, we're sponsoring 2 million people. That's nearly 1% of the population, guys. And said, you know what? We're volunteering to pay for them because they're not, this isn't engineers and doctors and, highly skilled people that are going to come in and make contributions to society right away that are trekking through cartel-laden areas to come to the United States, paying coyotes or whatever it is. This is the unskilled worker, the strawberry picker, the people that have no future in wherever they're coming from, thinking they're going to come here. They have no future here either. But the difference is here, we just here, you need a house, you need a phone, you need a car, you need electricity, you need food. The taxpayer will pay it. Build the damn wall, Joe, and put America first for a change. We had that for 4 years where Americans were put first. Why the hell you think the people that live in this country and pay the taxes and supposedly voted for you aren't worth your time? I have no idea. But for a change, please think of the people who actually built this country and not the ones that are out there with their hand wide open saying, gimme, gimme, gimme. Have a good Saturday. Pinball out.